Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Oh, that's not right now. I don't think. Yeah, it's frozen. So that was from yesterday. Yeah, none of them were moving at all. So. Anyways. Well, how's it going? It's a little bit early show today. I was going to take my kid out fishing at like 7 o'clock my time, and then come back home and do another live stream on that Bowmeister guy, the other half. Remember, we didn't finish the ones that they've been finding recently at the property. We just did the I-70 killer people they think are connected to him. Hey, thank you so much, Sybil Bergeron. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, so it'll be kind of the same thing. We'll just kind of go through Google Earth and Google Maps. Well, Google Earth, and then use newspapers.com and try to find each one, any references to those people, because these are people that went missing, and they haven't built. They just. Some of them they determined who they were back then, but then there's some that are still unidentified. So that might be kind of interesting. Let's see, Pretty Good said. Hold on, let me see what's going on. I don't think I have it set up right. I'm going to switch screens for a second. Yeah, should be. Not really sure why the chats aren't showing up on the screen, but they're not, so it is what it is. Don't know what's going on. So I can't see, there's nothing here. Try that again. Let's see. Go down to the bottom. Yeah, it's weird. It's not working for some reason. Interesting. Don't know why or anything like that. Just isn't working. I'm supposed to be able to click on the comments and it shows up over there. But anyway, she says, "Hey Gray, I'm currently studying criminology and will get my bachelor's next year. Any thoughts on how to get started?" Well, you just start, I think you can just be like a criminalist. You can work for the police. If I was you, I'd get like more into, if you don't want to work for the police department. It seems like you can be, what the hell is it? What's that called? You know, like the people that do the forensic stuff, they don't have to be a police officer. So I'm not really sure how. I know there's criminalists that aren't really, they're not police officers, but I don't know if they have to be a police officer before becoming one. So I guess I don't know the answer to that question. What did you want to be when you started doing criminology? Right. A barista. Yeah, like I got a degree in communications, probably the most useless degree ever. Yeah, I don't think criminology is useless. I just don't know when you go into criminology, what are you wanting to do when you get into it? Anyways, got a smaller crowd here, but again, just like usual, I'm hoping you guys can help support the channel during this live stream, just to keep the month going. I'll be back on later this evening for an hour and a half or so, doing more like at 9 o'clock my time, so it'd be midnight East Coast time. But you know, just trying to keep on ticking, you know. All right, so we got a missing person, Danielle Lopez. And let me save this out. That's her right there. I guess we'll just start with this People magazine. So she's been missing for a couple months now. I haven't heard of it before, but here we go. Danielle Lopez, 37, has been missing since April 13th. And this is May 28th article. When she was last seen at a Wawa in New Jersey, according to police. Lopez's mother, Sue Quackenbush. I mean, I thought like that would be one in a million. There's a whole bunch of like there's more than one Sue Quackenbush. Tells people that, this is the mother, that their final conversation was wonderful and nothing seemed to miss. Asked if there is one thing that she would like to tell her missing daughter, her last surviving child, Quackenbush replies, "How much I love her." The mother of a New Jersey woman who has been missing for over a month now, did not sense anything wrong with her daughter in their last conversation the day before she disappeared. It was wonderful, a very concerned Sue Quackenbush tells People on Tuesday, May 28th, of her chat with her daughter, Danielle Lopez. It was more of a good conversation. We spoke about a lot of things, and she was upbeat and happy at the time. So Lopez, 37, was last seen on April 13th at a Wawa store in Vincenttown, New Jersey, according to a statement from New Jersey State Police. So there's actually pictures. There's a picture of her in there. I guess like on this one. Right there. See how that's her right there. See that? And that is right here. This is the name of that town. Vincent or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, Vincent Town. And so that picture is probably likely just kind of going out the door. So right there, coming out that door there. I'm not sure why these are they're still open from yesterday, I guess. All right. She is known to frequent. So she was last seen at Wawa store in Vincenttown, New Jersey, according to statement from New Jersey State Police. She's known to frequent the Brendan T. Byrne State Forest, Pemberton Township, and Willingboro Township. So I guess we could put some pins out there. Okay, so that's that forest. And the other one was Pemberton Township. Okay, so that's in this area. And then also Willingboro Township. So it looks like they're kind of all in a similar place. I don't expect this to be far away either. All right. Quackenbush, the mother, tells people there have been no new updates from authorities other than the investigation is active. As for what they know, she says that Lopez was at a campground around the time of the disappearance. So how do they know that, though? She was with someone and they were camping, says Lopez. She looked content walking out of the Wawa based on security footage. Police also added that Lopez's 2008 two-door blue Hyundai Accent was later found disabled in Woodland Township. Quackenbush says she felt pure fear when she learned they discovered her vehicle. I went there and saw where the car was found, she says. There's no way that Danielle drove out there. Quackenbush, who lives in Pennsylvania, describes Lopez of Willingboro, New Jersey, as wonderful, sweet, and caring. Lopez is Quackenbush's only surviving child. The eldest son, Michael, died by suicide in 2015, followed 10 months later by her younger son, Michael, a Marine who had returned from Afghanistan in a vehicle incident in Florida. Jesus. That's been a lot, Quackenbush says. And then Danielle, shortly after that, lost her grandfather, who she had been living with in Delron at the time. She lost him to COVID, and her father a month later. Jesus, I mean. The concerned mother has been proactive in spreading the word and seeking information from the public about Lopez's disappearance. I have no choice but to hold up, she says, of her ordeal. When I'm weak, God is strong, and my children are motivation. Finding her is my priority. Yeah. Quackenbush says that she joined an organization called Tragedy Assistance program for survivors. Thank you to pretty good 49. Thanks for replying to my message. I am hoping to get into the legal field. My backup plan is to do something like criminal investigations. Yeah, I think that's like a criminalist. Like they help do. It might help you even be a PI or something like that too, right? Like you would understand how it all works. Trying to get my foot in the door while in school. Yeah. But yes, you guys, I'm trying to still try to make it, if we can get like somewhere near half the goal on this stream, that'd be great. We'll see how it goes, but started off, well, that one helped out there, so thank you. The concerned mother has been proactive in spreading the word and seeking information from the public about Lopez's disappearance. I have no choice but to hold up, she says of her ordeal. When I'm weak, God is strong, and my children are my motivation. But she only has that one left. Jeez. Quackenbush says that she joined an organization called the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors after the death of her son Michael. I've been able to peer mentor to many other moms who have lost multiple children. Now, let me try something. I'm going to try to fix this chat thing. So I'm going to pop it out again. Is this going to work? Maybe it'll just needed to redo it. Let's see. Yeah, crazy. Man, maybe it is showing up and I'm just not. No. No idea what's going on with this. But the chats are supposed to be showing up on the screen, but they're not. And I'm doing it correctly, so might have to turn something on somewhere, don't know. Is it in here? As far as whether she believes her daughter will be found or reappear, Quackenbush says that although she can't comment much on what's going on, the investigation has led me to believe she didn't just wander off. They're not looking at her to be returning, but they can't give me any information that would interfere with the investigation. Oh boy. They don't expect her to just be off the grid, she continues. They use the word suspicious, and they are fully investigating this. But wouldn't there be another person that's missing too? I mean, the person that she went with. But I would never use my daughter in the past tense if I wasn't led to believe otherwise. Asked if there is one thing that she would like to tell her missing daughter, Quackenbush replies, how much I love her. Hey, thank you so much, Stephanie Mertz. All right, so here's more information here.
In Burlington County, New Jersey State Police asking for your help to find a missing woman. She's 37 years old. Danielle Lopez was last seen April 13th at the Wawa on Route 72. Investigators say her car is a blue Hyundai Accent, was found disabled on Lost Lane Road in Penn State Forest. That's in Woodland Township. Police say she is known to frequent Burns State Forest, Pemberton Township, and Willingboro Township. If you've seen her, call police.
All right, so here's I guess this is the Facebook page here.
Developing right now, new images just in show the man wanted for.
Where's the car? That's her. She looks like she has a smile on her face even there. And that's her right there. So, other than that, she seems pretty and normal. And what she said, hey, thanks. I'm out of the loop on this. Well, we just started it just now, Plato, so you're not really out of the loop. Yeah, well, apparently she was with somebody camping, and then her car was found on this road right here. It took me a while to find this damn thing, but it was right here, the Lost Lane Road. I'm not even sure there's a street view on this thing. So Lost Lane Road goes quite a ways, though. I mean, that's still it right there. And then it comes around. That's still Lost Lane there. And then it ends right here. And then that's a different road. So looks like Lost Lane goes from here up and around and then all the way to likely right there. Okay, yeah. So it's somewhere on that road. So it's kind of long. I mean, it goes from here around to right there. Yeah, there's no... Let's see if there's any 360 in here somewhere. Man, there's nothing. I mean, there isn't any street view anywhere around here. Look at this. There isn't a damn thing. That's crazy. I mean, there's one here. Maybe we can just get a look at kind of what the terrain looks like. Well, it's pretty there. So that would be kind of like the woods, really. It seemed, I think she was with somebody. She was camping with somebody. That's what the mother said. So you're all caught up there, Plato. We don't really have much more than that. State police are asking the public for help trying to locate a woman missing since April. Danielle Lopez, 37, was last seen at the Wawa on Route 72 in Vincenttown around 9:10 a.m. on Saturday, April 13th. Her 2008 two-door Honda Accent was later found disabled on... Well, now, when it says disabled, does that mean, like, intentionally disabled? Or, you know, it had a flat tire, or what? The Aware Foundation said Lopez spoke with the family on April 12th and told her family she was going camping in Wharton State Forest. Not in A, so let's see where this is. It's got probably around the same area, I would think. Oh wow, so she was supposed to go over here. Yeah, because this is Penn State Forest. She was supposed to be in this one. That's not good. So did she actually make it to this state forest here? Man, that's crazy. Let's see if there's any 360 in there. Oh yeah, all kinds of 360 in this one. So let's see what this looked like. Yeah, that's going to be an awesome house. Yeah, so this is what kind of what it would look like where they're at. So they were supposed to go camping there. That one article says let's read that again now that we're sort of more familiar. Let's see if we can pick out anything. The mother of a New Jersey woman who has been missing for over a month, did not sense anything wrong with her daughter in their last conversation the day before she disappeared. It was a wonderful, a very concerned, so the conversation was wonderful. It was a good conversation. We spoke about a lot of things, and she was upbeat and happy at the time. Lopez, 37, was last seen on April 13th at Wawa store in Vincetown, New Jersey, according to a statement from New Jersey State Police. So if that's the last time she was seen, then there's really no proof that she was actually camping, because somebody else would have seen her, and that would be the last time she was seen. As for what they know, she says Lopez was at a campground around, so it says, as for what they know, she says that Lopez was at a campground around the time of the disappearance. So is that, like, who's saying that? She was with someone. See, there you go. She was with someone and they were camping. Well, where's that someone? And if that someone is missing, then that someone is likely responsible, unless there was some other, person that came by, but then you got to start looking at them. And if they're out there and they're, you can look at them, get their eyes on them, they're walking around and everything, that other person, well, then they likely have everything to do with it. She didn't. I don't think she said that. Yeah, well, the mom doesn't think where her car ended up is where, and I totally see that now. It's like, if they were going camping here, well, look how far away this is to, that's not the one. So right over here is where the car is. Let's just see how far away it is. Now it's 10 miles away. We don't know, I guess, inside of it. Where does this park end? Does it end over here? And they were right there, and then the car. And by the way, what the hell is this stuff? Like cranberry growing or something? And it's weird. I mean, I think that's just water right there. These things. Yeah. Well, I'm sure if they have cameras, then they've been looking at them. But she's on this. The car was found on this road right here, absolutely in the middle of nowhere. It looks like a dirt road. Well, let's look at different maps, different times. We can probably get a better shot of it. Probably in the fall. There you go. Look at that. Turn off roads, and now you can see that's what it looks like. Just a dirt road. I mean, hell, look at that huge mud puddle in the road all over it. So, I mean, obviously it just rained right before this. I mean, you'd have to have like a Jeep or something. Look at this to get through this. So, I mean, because the car was there and it had been, they use the word disabled. I think that's an interesting term, don't you think? Disabled implies that, somebody turned something off, or, removed a spark plug, or let the air out of the tires without there even be damage to the tires, or, something like that. Yeah, well, thanks for looking it up, Plato. Yeah, who knows? Maybe those are cranberries. I think that's how they do cranberries, right? Oh, hell, what does it say for places? Is there any names here? Oswego River. Huh. We have a Lake Oswego here in Oregon. And they're using that to feed the whatever the hell those are. Oh, there it is. Hey, I got it right. Look at that. It says Pine Island Cranberry. Can I get a boom? What a good guess that was, huh? Come on. Yeah. And that says Lee Brother Farm right there. Yeah, it is kind of weird how they do the cranberries. Well, I don't know. I wish I could get the mother on to talk about this, but it doesn't sound like she would be able to share much of anything anyways. So is there anybody out there that knows anything about this that randomly happens to be out there? Anybody at all? Yeah, don't forget to like the stream. Also, you know, you guys can keep on trucking here, try to get to the halfway goal mark or something like that before this show's over. We got another, I'll probably do this for another couple of hours. we're going to talk about, I want to have like a Delphi discussion where you guys throw stuff out and then we just talk about it after I talk about some stuff, you know. For me, it's like, it's such a big part of it. Right now, the whole Delphi thing is just something I need to, I just want it to go to trial and have it be done, you know. You know, it's what I found when you give away memberships to people, they just sort of, they almost never stay around. They just go for another free one the next month. I just noticed that, like, I have 500, you know, like 500 new ones, but 600 leave. You know, like I have like 13 or 1400, but they're almost all of them are at the lowest tier, right? So I was hoping it would help get me where I don't have to worry about super chats anymore, but I do. But what I just don't like is, you know, I mean, we try to give out memberships to people who, you know, maybe can't afford them or something like that, I guess. But I think also you're trying to give them to people so that they'll stay around, not just kind of keep coming back to get the next free one, you know? Again. And it also shows you that a lot of the trolls do that. Like we had so many, you know, gifted memberships lately, and I think some stay, but I mean, it's just crazy how, I mean, I guess it's, you know, if you guys buy 500 memberships in a month for people, it's still good, you know, the channel still makes income, but then I guess there's a chance that some of them might stay around. It's just kind of wild how they don't. I think when people buy a membership, there's much more likely to stay around because they made the decision to get one. Yep, I was on Court TV yesterday again. It was kind of a short segment. I don't know how it went, really. I haven't watched it. Did I say anything? Did I sound okay on there, Sarah? I mean, I never watched it again. It was just kind of really quick, but I thought my thoughts were okay on there. Well, thanks, Kubi. I didn't agree with the lady before me on some of the stuff she was saying. At the end I did, though. You know, the folding of the arms thing, that doesn't mean anything, you guys. You know. When people are folding their arms, they fold their arms because that's what they do, you know. I mean, I fold my arms sometimes and sometimes I don't. But when I'm folding my arms, I'm not hiding something. No, not that you're aware of, Gray. You see, because it's subconscious. You know, you're not really... No, I don't think so. I think it's just, there's a lot of... It's basically, it's a pseudoscience and everybody buys into it, you know. Like, everybody thinks it's so accurate. And it's because of places like... you know, the behavior panel. You know, they all have these specific things that they tell you. But again, they're so accurate after the fact. They always tend to, somebody's innocent before they've been arrested. You know, like they'll say, yeah, I don't really see it here. And then once they're arrested, you know, that's when they're the best, after they've already been arrested. Because now they can just call out every single thing that's in the playbook of body language and say, see, look at that, see. Maybe you have to sign out of, try a super thanks, Cameron, instead. A super thanks, or do a PayPal or whatever, however you want to help, man. That'd be great. Yeah, say the word baseline. You know, I can't stand that either. You know, it's like, that's just a word that all of you guys got from those shows. Well, here's their baseline. You see, now, when we're watching them here, this is how they act normally without there being any. And now we can use that as the baseline of their. Come on. Yeah, I know, right, Brittany? It's just like. All right. Well, if you guys find any more information on this, send it over to me. Because I don't have anything else. We don't have, there's no Facebook group about it. I mean, it might be kind of cool if somebody started a Facebook group regarding her and then people start sending stuff in. Yeah. Okay. What details on the vehicle are you talking about? Is this her car pulled from the puddle? Yeah, wow, isn't that weird? There's puddles in this thing. Here, let's see. Oh, look at that. It was in one of those puddles I just showed you. How weird is that, you guys? How crazy. So is that how it was disabled? It was stuck in a puddle? Isn't that wild? That's one of those puddles that we randomly just... So where are these? What Facebook page is that? Brenda Trinity. Let me just put this over here. Maybe that's how it was disabled. But why were they in that park in the first place? That's not the right park. So that's interesting. Look at that. Thanks, Kami. Plato, 36 months. All right. Welcome, Julian Flores. Let's welcome. So what is this group? What is this? Oh, this. So this is. Okay, where is? Okay, so here's a group. There is a Facebook page. All right, awesome. Let's take a look at this then. It was last seen April 13th via camera footage at the Wawas. Her car later that evening was videoed being towed out of... Thanks for sending me that right there. Here, I'll join it. Let's see. Was her car later that evening was videoed being towed out of a puddle that is known for people to get stuck there. Yeah, I mean, we just showed you that. Look at this. Look at this looks like. Watch. Ding, 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 ding. Look at that huge puddle right there. You know, there's a massive one there. So it just kind of depends, like, if it rained or not. Thank you, Osiris Stewart. Revel and Danielle Lopez was last seen April 13th via camera footage at the Wawa's. Her car later that evening was videoed being towed out of the puddle that is known for being, or for people getting, for people to get stuck there. It is a common but uncommon road at the same time. Usually you see people being stuck there via groups that are about the Barrens, whatever that means. Now, did she drive it there, or was it put there because it's what they want people to think? There are some close-ups of the photo. It does look like the wipers were used when it got stuck. The windows looked open, and I wondered if there was mud inside the car as well. Yeah. I don't know if the car would have got stuck there. Yeah, if it was moving, it should have kept moving through there, in my opinion. Let's welcome our new members. Yeah, so there's really hardly anything here. Her car was pulled from the puddle on April 13th. That was the same day that she was in Wawa. Per her mom, she was going camping until May 20th. The last time she made contact with her mom was April 12th. Through some social media and GoFundMe post, Danielle did reach out to a friend twice on April 13th, once soon after her coffee and then around 2 p.m. What do you mean once soon after her coffee? Okay, so after she was at Wawa. Danielle did reach out to a friend twice on April 13th. Once soon after her coffee and then around 2 p.m. So did she buy that looks like she has a coffee in her hand there. So she must have bought a coffee and then, so she was on the phone later. So who was that person? Let's see, the first two pictures of the same area her car was located. The last one is the campground she was staying at. Her car was located on April 13th by someone who was going through the same path and saw her disabled car. He pulled it out to Lost Lane Road. It sat there for a while in plain sight where everyone could see. Lake Oswego. This is where the campground was? I mean, what's she saying there? Okay, maybe we can try to find that on the map. I-70. That just means that something's wrong with the car and it doesn't work. Huh. How come they said Wharton State Park, but now this lady's saying Muddy... Muddy Road. Oh, is that it right there? And then Cedar Road. right there. So we're kind of all in the same area. So they're saying she was supposed to be camping. Like right here. Oh, here it is. So, Brendan T. Burns State Forest Campground. Okay. Okay, if that's the campground, then way over here is where the car was found. I don't know. I thought they were supposed to be staying at Wharton State Forest. You know, I guess it's possible that is still in that forest, but it's the campground. No, this is Brendan T. Burns State Forest. But then her car was found in Penn State Forest, down here. Yeah, I think it's definitely got to surround, unless the other person's missing too, but we're not hearing about another missing person. So it seems like that person would have to be related to it. What is she saying? Okay. The last one is the campground she was staying at. The first two pictures are the area where her car was located. Let's see. Let's see if it's accurate. Okay, there's the lake. So I don't think her picture is correct there. You know, she's just showing here where Oswego Road is. And it's actually a, you know, well, I guess it does have Lost Lane Road she has right there. So, you know, maybe it was found right in this early area here. Don't know. It's kind of close to where I have the pin, but Danielle Lopez was last seen shortly after 9 a.m. April 13th leaving the Wawa. Is seeking the public's assistance in locating a missing 37-year-old female. Danielle Lopez last spoke with her family on April 12, 2024, when she stated she was going camping at Wharton State Park. Danielle was last seen on Saturday, April 13th at approximately 9:11 a.m. at the Wawa located at 4 Route 72 in Vincenttown, New Jersey. She is known to frequent the Brendan T. Burns State Forest, Pemberton Township, and Willingboro Township. Danielle, 2008, two-door blue Hyundai Accent, was found disabled on Lost Lane Road, Penn State Forest, Woodland Township. Anyone with information is asked to contact the New Jersey State Police Missing Person Unit at 609-882-2000 extension 2554. Or send an email to missinginformation@njsp.gov. Alright, there you go. So maybe I can reach out to somebody in this group and maybe we can get some more information. But that's all I got so far. Pretty wild though. Just kind of, yeah, looked like she was having a great time. So, did something happen with her, or don't know. Yeah, we can see it's pretty big here. Oops, sorry, I'm talking, but I had the audio off. Could you guys, I wasn't always off, right? Anyways, Brendan T. Burns State Forest, Penn State Forest, and Wharton State Forest. So there's 3 forests in the same area. Huh? What do you mean it goes by a different name? What are you talking about? Hold on a second. I don't know what you guys are referring to up there. Who said something about somebody goes by a different name? I haven't seen anything about that in the comments. All right, well, that's it, you guys. I'm going to move on to the other topics, or topic. I don't have anything else to add. What do you mean, Nicola Duffy? What do you mean? What did I do? Wow, Gray, you're 100% the real deal. Amazing. What'd I do? I mean, hey, I'm glad you're saying that, but what'd I just do? I don't get it. I don't know what that means. She wrote Revel and Danielle Lopez. Don't know what that means. I haven't seen anybody comment on that until just then. Where did she make the comment at? Okay, the lady called her that. Okay. Guess we'll have to check that out later. It's not going to help us, you know. Yeah, I'll check it out later. That's why I figured that, Nicola. I figured you were a troll when you came in here. Nobody makes that comment like that. But you're true. You're correct, though. You know, that's the weird part. But go troll somewhere else, all right? Thank you. Man, even in the midday, you can't avoid the trolls. Isn't that wild? Midday. Doesn't matter. I guess you didn't try PayPal there, Cameron. Don't see it in there. Okay. Anyways, we're switching topics now. I was going to talk about, you know, I want to have like an open discussion about Delphi and the things that are bugging you out there. And then, you know, I also just wanted to, it's so crazy, the whole situation and online and the people who cover the case, you know. I mean, you got, you know, like Greeno's out there trying to get everybody to just sort of forget about all of the stuff that he's done to so many people. And he never actually, you know, a start would be if he went out there and he explained all of the stuff that he did to everybody out loud and apologized to those people. Instead, he just goes, yeah, I was bad at one time, but now I'm awesome. But he's still doing the same crap that he always does. You know, putting out, you know, so he sent me an email like, hey, Gray, you want to be part of this documentary thing? And, you know, here's the thing. I can't be part of it, anything that he's in, because I feel like I would be just slapping in the face all the people he's screwed over the years. I mean, just an abomination. All right. So there's no way I could go out and be part of something, even if it's legit. Like, I just wouldn't be able to do it. There's no way in hell. And then he told people, Gray declined my invitation. I never even responded to his email. So how does he know? I mean, he sent it out, and then 2 days later, he told people that I declined, and then he does a live stream, and the entire live stream was fake. I mean, everything he said was false in it. Just today, even. You just watch it, and you just go, my God, are you kidding me? And he says, the documentary is really about me, everybody. It's about me and, you know, my course with the Delphi case out there, and it's just, you know, it's about me. But, you know, it's all about the girls, you know, the case, you know. So I'm the one that says it's all about the girls. Right, but you just said the whole documentary is about you. I mean, by the way, why would I want to be in something like that? By the way, the person who's, if that's true, the person who's doing it is dumb, too. You know, like, wow, you're trying to legitimize somebody who's just been an absolute pile of crap to so many people. I mean, there's been so many times where I did a show on something, and then right in the middle, like one time in the middle of my show, he texted, or not texted, he Facebook IM'd me and said, hey, Gray, yeah, I was thinking that same thing too. Yeah, look at this. And then right after my show, he did the exact same show and pretended that we worked together on it. He told people, we worked together on this. Yeah. No, we didn't. You sent me, oh, it's unreal, the stuff that guy does. I don't know, we've kind of moved on. Different topic now. Yeah. I mean, I guess the window was open or something. Water went into it, but we don't really have a great picture of it. What I've reviewed on your coverage, I think he's guilty. You're new to what case? The Delphi case? Wow. Man, how could you be new to Delphi case? That's been around since 2017 and like nationally. Right. So the people who think that Richard Allen didn't do it, they'll just go, yeah, well, Gray was just selling you this certain narrative or whatever. Yeah, I mean, mine is from the prosecution point of view with the probable cause document that is not really, you know, for me, it's not even in doubt, you know. It's just like Brian Koberger. You know, both of these people have been arrested and with no bail. So, you know, they're the ones that did it. Okay? Not necessarily, Gray. And it's not really just that. It's the fact that they're arrested with no bail, and then all of the information locks in Richard Allen as being the bridge guy. And you know that Slow Joe wacko? So I sign in there with my other account, and I said, or I have like, you know, my channel that I have with Chasing Truth. I signed in and I said, yeah, so why, you know, Richard Allen is the guy, he, you know, and then he's like, hey, who is this guy? How could you say that it's him? How can you say that that's him? I mean, it just shows you how dumb some of these people are. Like, you can sit there and explain it to them, and their rationale for not believing you is just, it's almost scary, you know. I don't know what their brains are thinking or how they're doing. None of them can explain how he isn't the bridge guy. Okay, when you lay it down, you know what their answer always is? They lied in the probable cause. That's why. So the probable cause is all fake, therefore, you know, that's why it's not Richard Allen. Yeah. Anyways, are you guys even here? We got that slow chat going on again where nobody's communicating. And I'd rather go do something else if we're not going to, you know, have the chat moving along here. It's not fun for me. Yeah, I know. It's always I'm listening. Every show, though, people are listening, but people are chatting, too, about what people are talking about. Yeah. I mean, we always hear that, oh, I'm just listening. Okay, well, I don't want 800 people just listening, you know? Not that there's 800 here. I'm just saying, if I wouldn't want a show where there was that many people and they're just listening. I mean, here's one thing I noticed. I've noticed, though, that the super chats correlate to the amount of people that are chatting. You ever notice that? Hey, Nicole Broom. Yeah. Got this little sparkling thing going around on my head. Let me see. Oh, that's fine. Let me remove the Luma key and there we go. I was trying to do, I have a green screen behind me that you can pull down, but I don't think the lighting works good on it. Yeah, I mean, Zozo's smiley face is only 8 comments up. So what I'm thinking is most of the people watching right now are trolls. They're just here to see if there'll be something they can take it out of context or say and go, ooh, look at what Gray said. Yeah. Hello, Nicole Broom. Yeah, well, you just have to go back and rewind it, I guess. It's at the beginning of the show. We did a whole hour on... Yeah, I mean, I know I came on earlier, but I was going to come on later this evening to do the remaining part of the Bowmaster serial killer, you know, the bodies found on his property. But I was hoping to get support on this show, even though it's earlier, so that going into that show, it's not too much of a struggle. But we're not doing it. Yeah. So it's just kind of a weird thing. Like, he's actually talking about, oh, I'm going to do a show with, maybe I'll do a collaboration with the, you know, that Hitler guy. Who in the hell would want to ever converse with that guy? He doesn't say anything that's logical or makes sense. And, you know, just the whole community just feels strange to me. I'm always sort of the one left out. In terms of, I'm the only one that thinks the way I do, really, in this case, that actually sticks to it. I mean, you know, he actually entertained, somebody said on there, listen to this, everybody. So Greeno's on there, and somebody sent a screenshot, and he put it on the screen that said, hey, why don't you go on with that guy and finish off raising the funds for Richard Allen? He's like, yeah, you know, what the hell are you talking about? You want to raise more money for Richard Allen? Hey, thanks, Carrie Moody. I hardly ever chat in any chat, but do watch and appreciate your coverage nightly. Oh, well, you should chat in the chat with people here. But anyways, thank you. And thank you, Paulette Leonard. I mean, who in the hell wants to raise money for Richard Allen? Apparently 709 wackos. We just want a fair trial, Gray, that's all. I don't know if he's guilty or not. Okay. I don't think anybody does that. As I said the other night, there isn't a soul in the world. Awesome that people want to hand over their money to a killer. Yeah. And here's the thing. Those 709 people, when he's found guilty, I hope you guys are ashamed of yourself, you know? I mean, what a joke. No, but I'll feel okay because it gave him the best chance, and now I'm sure he's guilty. I never would have been sure if we weren't able to hire those experts. Oh, God. Nobody in the world would ever donate money to a case when you weren't sure if somebody's guilty of killing girls, but you just wanted to make sure that they had enough money for, just ridiculous, okay? You all think he's innocent, and that's why you're sending, and yes, he is innocent until proven guilty. However, he has been arrested. There's been no bail given to him, and I believe he's 100% guilty. Yeah, well, there was no gray area in the case, other than if you believe in Odinism, Brittany. Like, if you believe in Odinism, then yeah, it's... I wonder how many people donated to Chad Daybell's defense team. I'm not sure, we're going to go ahead and send him some money. Imagine if the weird part is you'd be an absolute pariah if you had sent money into Chad Daybell's defense team and claimed, hey, I just want a fair trial. I mean, how would you be able to look at anybody's face? This one is just as bad. It's just as bad. Melbourne. I know how to say Melbourne. It's not Melbourne. It's M-E-L-B-U-N. Melbourne. Okay. Let's see. Richard Allen is guilty, and he did it by himself. Yeah, that's what I think. I think he absolutely did it by himself. And so this is a case way back in the day where, I'm just trying, it's so weird. So it's strange to go back in my mind and think about this case, how it was. I just kind of remember, I had been, Jodi Arias groups, or, I made one comment in Jodi Arias and it led to this, months-long comment thread. It was really weird how that all worked out. Hey, thanks, Ozzy Trisha. I agree, Mod. So I used to do Jodi Arias, and then I covered the McStay case, but I wasn't a YouTuber really. I would make videos and put them on YouTube for demonstrative purposes. Didn't even know what monetization was. Too bad. I mean, some of those videos had 100,000 views, but had no idea what any of that meant. So I would just put them out there. And, then in 2017, I had friends because of that on Facebook. So we just have Facebook groups and everything. Like, I think it was way back in like 2013. It was like Ada. And, I'm not sure when Easy came in, but we were doing all these, we just have Facebook groups and try to figure things out. And then one night there was the 2 girls missing in Delphi. And we were like, wow, that's crazy, because right away, that same night, they showed the pictures that were filmed on the bridge. The one of Abby and the one of the full length of the bridge. Those were out the first night. And we're looking at those just going, wow, this is crazy. And, then I got my maps out and I'm trying to figure out, I find the bridge, but, and it's just so weird how much stuff went on in the first 10 days of that. Hey, thanks, Mustang 1965. The first 10 days of looking into that case seems like it took 4 years. I mean, it was like every second, 10 hours a day, just kind of, 15, I mean, how many hours a day? It was just like looking and looking. And there was people that had been to the Monon High Bridge in 2016, for example, who took some video. They filmed themselves 2016 or even before. They were walking across the bridge and they filmed some things, and so it gave you a perspective of the bridge, but you couldn't really tell which side of the where anything was. Well, you could tell where the picture of Abby was because that was the start of the bridge. But then later on, 2 days later, they put out the picture of the bridge guy. And then it was like, okay, is that coming towards the same start of the bridge? And nobody really knew. And then somebody took one of those old videos that somebody had posted on YouTube and said, look, there's that same forked tree right there. And then that was the clicking moment of what was sad about the whole thing, though. This was this really large Delphi Facebook group that I've been kicked out of. Okay, it was the first one. It had like 80,000 people in it or something like that, and I got kicked out of it because this lady who found the forked tree, and I said, no, that's on the other side. Look how this works. And I explained it to her over and over again, and she was the one that ran it. She just wouldn't believe it. She kept saying, no, it's on the other side. It's on the start of the bridge. It's on the side. And was just arguing and arguing and arguing. And I got kicked out of there, and then we started our own Facebook group, which is weird. It doesn't feel like it's a Facebook group. That Delphi, it's just so weird to me. That's the way you think of things. It doesn't feel like it's this Facebook group. Like it feels like it's this entity somewhere else. I don't know why. I can't really explain it. And then I remember once I found out where that was filmed, it was amazing how many people just wouldn't believe it. They just would not believe it, wouldn't believe it. But I didn't stop there. I kept looking around, and then, you realize, okay, that's down the hill. And then I figured out where the crime scene was because this lady, a reporter, had filmed from the crime scene, and they were on the cemetery side where the crime scene tape was. They literally panned across, and as they were filming the creek from that other side, you could see this tree that was overhanging the water. I'm just kind of going through how this all worked. I'll show you. There was a tree hanging over the water, and it turns out it was I think it was this tree right there, this one. How it's hanging out over the water there. And I could see it because the camera was right down here filming, and there was a tree that went over, and I looked around on Google Earth. I found it, and then I realized it was right across the street, creek from there, and then the crime scene was right over here, and that's where the crime scene is. And then I worked through the whole thing where here's the end of the bridge. I knew that's where the shot was. Then there's a hill here that you would go down to go to the private drive. Then there's another hill you go down to the bottom level here. And then I noticed over here this shallow area. Then you would cross here and come across, and there's the crime scene. We still don't know, even to this day. I always thought they meant to take him back here. It's very isolated. There's a private road up above, but if you're below, nobody up here can see anything. You're down there, around the corner from the bridge, but I guess from up here you might be able to see, but I always thought that right back here he was going to assault them, and maybe they made a run for it right from here across this shallow area, and then he caught up to him, and he never really meant to get wet in the water, and this is where he ended up killing him over there. But so anyways, after I figured this all out using various photographs and different things, I actually use this place some sort of software program that you can share your screen with people. So everybody that would listen, I'd go, hey, come on, hey, you got to see this. This is it. Look it. And I explained it to them, the whole thing, how they were dropped off up here, walked down. I had the wrong spot of where the photos were taken on the bridge. Like maybe I had the pin here. And, over there, it was off by a little bit. And then I also thought that this is where Libby was standing on this platform when she filmed the guy, but absolutely can't be the case because the nodule that you see by the killer's foot behind him is right there. And so if she's standing here, you wouldn't have seen it. It would have been over here somewhere. So anyways, I would have everybody come on and watch, and they'd be like, oh wow, that's so cool. And then eventually I went, wait, why don't I just make a screen recording of me telling you this and put it on YouTube? So when I put it on YouTube, it was right around the time when somebody said, "Oh, that gray guy, he's, he knows too much." Hey, thanks, Ozzy, Trisha, and Mustang up there. He knows. So the Indiana State Police had a Facebook page. So probably right around February 20th, so just like a week afterwards, they said, "Hey, this Gray Hughes guy, he knows too much. I wonder, is he the bridge guy or something?" And somebody told me about it, so I went over to the Indiana State Police Facebook page, and I saw the post, so I go, hey, look at, here's a video I made. And the Indiana State Police, one of the troopers or whatever, watched it, and they were like, "Wow, look at that." Then they gave it to Robert Ives, the prosecutor. Then apparently he sent me an email that I didn't see. Then he made a comment underneath one of the videos, and underneath that video called like Crime Scene Flow or something. And he said, "Hey, do you ever check your emails?" So then I found the email, and it was from him, and it turns out he's a prosecutor, but it was a .com email, so it didn't really make sense, but it really was them. So I called over there, and the lady answered the phone and said, "Hey, he's not available." And then she said, "Who is this?" And I said, "Gray Hughes." And then she goes, "So hold on a second." And then she goes, "Okay, he'll talk to you." So then we talked for, 20 minutes or so. He said that he was really impressed with how I was able to come up with the flow of the crime based on publicly available information, and that if they make an arrest soon, they would like to hire me to make graphics that show this, but we could give you more information so you could be more accurate. And so then that month went by, and then we're already into March and so forth, and then that's when we had like Beth and some other people went out to the bridge with me. They'd be on the cell phone, and I'm talking to them, and they're filming stuff, and I'm like, "Hey, no, you got to be right there." And then we finally found, all the various spots. We figured out exactly where the full length of the bridge shot was. We figured out where the image of Abby was filmed from. We figured out where the killer was, the bridge guy, Richard Allen, when he approached when he's in the shot, the video, the 2-second video. He's about less than 60 feet away, past platform 6. On the southeast side. And we figured it all out. So we had it all figured out, and that one's called Crime Scene Flow 3. Now there might even be some stuff that's a little, "Hey, thanks, Peter." How'd you come up with that name, by the way? I like saying it, but I'm just trying to figure out how you came up with it. But you wouldn't believe how long it seemed like that first, 10 days. Man, it just felt like it was a month, 2 months, 3 months. It just took forever. So much arguing and fighting and nobody wanting to believe or listen to the facts. And that's where when I started making those debunking videos, because people were putting out so much garbage, completely false things to get people excited and to talk, and I can't stand that crap. And I would just debunk it, shred it into oblivion. Like they would say something, "Look at this, everybody, look at this," and then I'd make a video just completely wiping it out, because you find the actual photographs. They use the helicopter footage flying around. They use that a lot. And so I started making debunking videos, and then eventually I became friends with Becky and Kelsey. I became friends with her, and Becky, I'd ask her about, I was trying to get the timeline figured out. So she was saying that it was based on phone calls and different things that people said. So it was. We had it at 137, but it turns out it's 149. But all the trolls out there, this is what they literally say, that me and Becky conspired to develop a fake timeline, and I'm going to be arrested someday for it. Oh my God! People just try to do the best they can. The rest of it's, the time is 12 minutes off, and it's probably because what it was Kelsey probably said, well, I was talking to my boyfriend at the time, and that's probably like right when they left the house, and because about 10, 11, 12 minutes later you would get to the area. And so I bet you that's what it was. And Derek's information was totally correct. 100%. Thanks, Irene Cipher. And then, you had Daniel Nations, people investigating him. You had, let's see, what are these other guys' names? Now, there's like, their faces are in my head, but I can't remember their names. Like, tons of different people that people are interested in. I have never been interested in Ron Logan. Not even for a tenth of a second of, that's interesting. Never. Okay? And Ron Logan looks absolutely nothing like the guy on the bridge. He had all the reason in the world to come up with an alibi, knowing that once they interviewed him, they'd find out that he broke his parole and would get 2 more years in prison. And amazingly, that's exactly what he got, everybody. So his prediction of what would happen is true. But people out there just don't seem to ever want to understand that part. Who was the guy that went into that store? He looked very similar structurally. It's kind of interesting because he sort of does look a little bit like Richard Allen today. He went in the store and he shot the one lady. That was the one that Kat believed in. Like, he never dropped that guy. For years and years he kept saying. Anybody know? Forgot his name. Let's see. I never said he looked like Bridge Guy. Justice, you might have. What's his name? Man. Don't you guys remember that guy? He went into a store and he held a gun to somebody and forced them to have sex with him. And he had that kind of hat that we were looking at originally, had the blue jacket, everything. I think Georgina would know who that was. Come on. Yeah, Bruce. That's it. Thomas Bruce. There you go. Yeah, Cat could never, he could never, ever drop that guy. I mean, he just talked about him all the way up until the end there. Yeah, so it's Thomas Bruce, and then I forgot the guy's name, but he had an IUD necklace. So that guy was interesting. But none of them ever made you go, oh yeah, boom. Yeah, Eder. Paul Eder, that's right. Yeah, he was just absolutely, that was nuts, that guy. I probably have some images somewhere. Yeah, and then who was the guy's name that actually did track down, like he had a girl, abducted her, Chadwell, that's the one right there, that's the other one. Somebody just typed it in, thanks. Sub Rosa, so that's the other one. Those are the 4 main people that everybody always, that those ones were interesting people at the time. The whole Odinist garbage was never something, obviously they looked into it. And it sounds like some people said interesting things, but a lot of the things that were said by interesting people were, like one of them was this guy named Elvis, and he is just totally, like his IQ is of a 6th grader. I mean, it's ridiculous, or 6-year-old or something. I mean, it's just ludicrous stuff. And law enforcement would have looked into them completely, right? So they looked into all the Odinists, all these other people, and it turns out in reality, just 10 days after the murders, they were literally, or 12 days, they were putting a search warrant over at Keegan Klein's or Tony Klein's house, where Keegan Klein lived, and in that they found a whole bunch of electronic devices that were filled with CSAM material, and Keegan Klein seemed all right with all the items and different phones and things for let law enforcement see, but he hid his own personal phone that he was using during the time of the murders. And then they took him down to the station and did a polygraph on him, and he all the questions were about Abby and Libby, and he knew that that's what this is going to be about. And then he came back home, and then he found, miraculously, the same phone that he said that he, misplaced or something. And when he found that, he started uninstalling, deleting apps for a couple days, and then he called Indiana State Police and said, "Oh, look, I found my phone." So, they get the phone, but it was all wiped out. And, they went there because he'd been communicating with one of, I guess he liked one of Libby's comments or something, and he'd been communicating with Libby's friends. But then it turns out during the investigation that he'd actually been having conversations and sending images back and forth using the Anthony Shots profile. And, maybe those are, which is absolutely insane to me. That's something we got to think about a little bit more. It's like there was pictures that she sent back and forth, apparently, and she really liked this Anthony Shots character, which is actually Keegan Klein. So doesn't this feel like there's, man, just, how do you get past that, man? How is there not a connection to those images and so forth put out on a Dropbox account and a communication that allowed Richard Allen to realize that they were going to be there that day? I don't know, man. That's hard to believe. One of the Richard Allen wackos in here? Yeah. Yeah, so you had that, and you got this catfishing account communicating with Libby, and then they ended up well, here's the thing. Even if they weren't supposed to meet that day, what are the odds that you have a catfishing account communicating with Libby, and then right around the same time some random killer kills them? So you don't even have to think they were supposed to meet that day but only didn't get to. I mean, that is just horrendous, right? But hey, guys, we don't have too much to go to get at least halfway there. Just another 30 bucks or so. So if you guys can help support the channel, that would be awesome. Trying to get to... so this channel, I actually have goals that I try to reach to be able to continue for my channel to be supported and to be able to give a tremendous amount that we have been doing. We're at $202,000 since January of 2020, which is actually 3 years after the homicide or the murders of Abby and Libby. I don't know. I don't think they knew each other because law enforcement could find no connection between Richard Allen and Keegan Klein. Except I always think that there might be a connection between the Dropbox and somebody else and Richard Allen. Because I think the Dropbox, I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there as an idea. I mean, was the Dropbox a place where people would share information on where to meet somebody, or a place where you could, just look at photos somebody gave? Was there intel on, hey, they're going to be at this park? Maybe, things like that. I don't know. But maybe somebody else saw it and then told him, hey, there's this girl out there. I know you like this type or whatever. I mean, we don't know. Yeah, Kirsten, your brain doesn't work well. Let's see. I always thought the Snapchat images were to let Anthony Shots know they were on the bridge, the meeting place. Huh? Thanks, Georgina Stoliker, and welcome to Kentucky Sleuth Angel. What? What kind of a name is that? Let's see. No evidence connect Richard Allen to Klein. I already said that, Justice. I already said that like 10 times. Yeah, you don't know, Justice. No Snapchat connection. Why murder occurred and all. Can you type better sentences? You know, you're just all over the place. I don't know, it's just weird. Kentucky Sleuth Angel. I mean, why not just Kentucky Sleuther or Sleuthing Angel? Like, is there another Sleuth Angel in Nebraska? I guess non-members aren't welcome. No, you're definitely welcome here, Kirsten. I just don't agree with what you're saying at all. You sound like a crazy person. Just like you came up with your comment up there, and then I came up with my rebuttal to your comment. I thought it was ludicrous. I don't trust investigators since they overlooked other large clues. What other large clues? I'd love to hear what those large clues are. I mean, man, that's great. Oh, you mean the Odinist clues? Yeah, see, that's another terribly written sentence, Justice Sweet. Are you from another country? I don't want to, you know. Police dropped the ball. Hopefully. Oh, they didn't really drop the ball. They just that one clue from Dan Doolin didn't make it to the right person. So that guy dropped the ball. I mean, they investigated the hell out of it. What other people are talking about is the Odin crap. Oh, they missed large clues with the Odinists. Right. Let's see. Are you an expert investigation person? Oh, Jesus. What a fool. Yeah, they don't have any. Yeah, it's just kind of weird all over all the years. But you know, when you think back, I think the press conference that means the most is the 2019 one, and they got the answers to all those. I just made that video on it. You know, here's the thing: law enforcement has known since the beginning. All right. That 3 girls saw a guy coming in with varying clothing descriptions. And then then you had Betsy Blair saw somebody. And then you had Sarah Carbaugh see somebody. And then Sarah Carbaugh to me is the weakest one. It doesn't even matter to me at all. Like, I don't even need, that one's not even, I don't care that Sarah Carbaugh saw somebody, because we see Richard Allen on the bridge at 2:13. And so you have, and then who was the driver of the vehicle that was parked at the abandoned CPS building? And that answered was Richard Allen. I do focus on facts, Justice Sweet. Your typing is terrible, so I don't understand what you're saying. Defamation of character. Shut the hell up. Nobody knows who the hell you are. God, you're just a wacko. I mean, why don't you go look and read your rude comments up there, Justice Sweet, and then maybe you can realize why somebody might not sound a certain way to you. Oh, okay. See, look at now we got Justice Sweet, the psycho stalker. Yeah, there's not going to be any legal anything. I don't know who you are. Your name isn't out there. Nobody knows who you are. And all of your comments are stored here too, okay? You can make sure you make some comments, wacko. I mean, people are so crazy. You know? If you come anywhere near here, you'll have a problem. I'll tell you that. God, these people. Unreal. You're the one harassing here. Nobody invited, you know. It's unbelievable. Oh, Jesus. All right, let's see. One of the Bob Mana cult members. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, well, we'll see if you make another comment, well, I'm just going to remove them anyways. Nah, forget it. I'll leave them here. I don't really care. So, hey, let's do maybe we'll open up the phone lines. But, hey, if you guys can support the channel, that'd be great. We kind of stopped again. Got a massive lull going here. Going to need to get moving so that the later show doesn't have so much pressure on it. All right? Thank you. All right. Here we go. There's the phone number there. Feel free to call in and tell me how it's not Richard Allen on the bridge, everybody. I know you guys are so well adept at it. All you wackos out there that really believe that. Okay, hey, listen, Justice is sweet. I don't care what your advice is. Jesus. Oh, God. Nobody said anything. There's nothing in here that's defamatory or anything. I just couldn't understand your sentences. That's it. Okay? And why can't you drop it, by the way? See, this seems like you came in here purposely to troll, and this is what your response is. Can you act like an adult, please? Thank you. That'd be great. Yeah. So anyways, I kind of just went through the long history of this case. There's just so many people out there that they just don't use logic and common sense. It's been going on in this entire case. It's the same way in any case that, I don't know which ones. It's hard to determine which ones, though, when I say any. So it just seems like every once in a while these cases come along where people decide that it's more entertaining for them to pick the side of the evil person and try to defend them. Yeah, we know. He confessed multiple times to his mother and wife, and then other times to psychologists. He's confessed to, but then I think he went on a confession campaign to try to throw off the rest of the people. Nobody's trolling. Yeah, see, here we go, you guys. Here comes the troll. Everybody, listen to what they say. Gray Hughes, you're the one trolling murder case and making money off of it. Shame on you, too. Well, screw you. Okay, screw you. Yeah, I do make an income doing true crime, but I'm not just covering this case. Okay? And my name is AY, not EY. That's how I know you're a troll. You guys all spell it the same way. And also, we've given $202,000. How much have you given? Yeah, that's what I thought. 0. All right, everybody. Given thousands of dollars to the ballpark. Yeah, I mean, people do, support my channel, and I donate a huge portion of it. It's not all the money. I mean, these people are just so stupid. Listen, if this channel didn't exist, I bet you maybe 10,000 would have been given to charities. People would have said, oh, then, or they just would have spent it on their, other things, but they helped the channel out, and I give a lot back. And I think that's a good thing. Don't you guys agree? Thanks, Lil Puppy Paws 99. Yeah. So that person came directly from the troll community right there. You could tell. Yeah. By the way, Justice Sweet, did you ever contact HLN or any of these other shows that they cover true crime? Okay. I just explained it to you, Justice Sweet. You're a fool, okay? And how much has Greeno given to charity over the years? And the answer is 0, okay? And, you know, so that's what the guy just typed in. You're just like him. Yeah, now that is hilarious, okay? I mean, that is absolutely hilarious. Why don't you ask Identifinders, who's got over $85,000 for identifying Jane Does. Real money, everybody. Shown on the screen every single time. Thank you, Bridget Bauman. Oh, you got to take off? Well, thank you. Or, what am I supposed to say? Have a great Arvo. Is that the right word? Or, yeah, Arvo, right? That's afternoon, right? Yeah, I like the Aussies. They seem to like my show. Some of them do. You know. There's also a lot of conspiracy nutters that are... Hello, this is Gray. Who's this?
Hi, this is Julia.
Julia? What's going on?
Yes. Hi. I'm just joining in now, so I don't know if you have a specific topic that you were wanting to call in about, or like in terms of Delphi.
Yeah. Well, it's about Delphi. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anything goes for Delphi right now.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Yeah, it was just anything.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I definitely have strong opinions about, like, I wouldn't say strong opinions, but in general about what I think may or may not have happened. But sometimes I need to bring myself back into check and play devil's advocate for myself. And so that's what I'm doing in terms of bridge guy. So whoever was on the bridge, I do not see any reason that it would not be Richard Allen in terms of, like, the phone dump, all that stuff.
Well, they haven't really given us any information off the phone dump, really. But the thing is the probable cause itself. Okay. The probable cause itself has. I mean, he's locked in. He locked himself in as being the bridge guy. He can't get out. There's no escaping it. You know? Right.
Okay. So maybe I was a little misinformed on that. But basically, yes. So he, in his confession or whatever, he told the DNR officer, Dan Doolin, he like put himself there and put himself there at that time. Like, if it's not him, then who else? I mean, that's what I can't.
Yeah, well, it's even more. It's even more than that. So, like, he told Dan Doolin he was there from 1:30 to 3:30. Then, on the Hoosier Harvest Store at 1:27, you know, so right around 1:30, a car that looks like a black Ford Focus drives by the Hoosier Harvest Store, and then Richard Allen himself, after he parks the car by an old building, he said, he walks to the Freedom Bridge, and then right after he gets there, he passes 3 girls. Those same 3 girls saw him, and he saw them, right? And there's a verified timestamp of 1:27 or 1:26 by the girls at a bench, which is just 1 minute before he drove by the Hoosier Harvest Store, which is sort of interesting. And as they're leaving the park, they pass him. So they verify that he's coming in, right? And then it takes 10 minutes. So he probably about 1:34, he passed those girls. Takes 10 minutes to get to the bridge. And that'd be about 1:44, right? Then, and he says he go to the bridge and he looked at fish one time. Another one, he said he was looking at the stock ticker in another interview. And then so he gets to the bridge at 1:44, and then Betsy Blair, she parks her car at like 1:47. So that's only 3 minutes after Richard Allen got to the bridge. She parks her car, gets out, and starts walking down the trail because she's there to exercise, and heads down. And Richard Allen didn't pass her because during that walk, it takes about 7 minutes to go from the parking area to the bridge. And if Richard Allen, so she got there and there was only a 3-minute gap, even if he had sprinted back up the trail, he wouldn't have passed her. She would have seen him on the trail passing her. Instead, she walks down the trail and he's still standing there on platform 1, exactly where he said he was standing in his October 2022 interviews. So, I mean, it's just, he's absolutely nailed in. He can't, yeah.
And it's another thing is it's kind of hard for me to believe that the girls were not targeted. I mean, I know that there was, I mean, anything's possible, but that was their day off of school. Yeah, whatever. But there were like kids trickling in the whole day from what I've heard because of that. But it's a large plot of land. And so it's just the fact that he was on the bridge. I mean, did he just, like go there and be like, hey, maybe some like 2 girls will, or 1 or whoever will cross the bridge and I'll just happen to get lucky? It's really hard for me to grip onto that.
Which part? I missed that. Somebody. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. It's hard for me to believe that that Richard Allen, bridge guy, did not know that Abby and or Libby would be on the trails at that time that day. Just because, I mean, that would have to be a huge coincidence in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's weird too, because when he got there, he had his head down and he was in a hurry to try to, like he was on a mission to be somewhere. And it's so odd that he got there just, because they got dropped off at 1:48 probably, because the car is at 1:49 driving by Hoosier Harvest Store. So, that's only 4 minutes after Richard Allen would have got to the bridge. So was he aware that they were coming? Or was he just there hunting for somebody and Abby and Libby just fell into the trap? Because you can make really good arguments for both him being aware that Abby and Libby were going to be there, and you can make really good arguments for him just hunting. And that's why it's so lucky, because he waited for the luck. He wouldn't even have done anything. The luck is that there wasn't a soul in the park other than Abby and Libby at the time of the murders. I mean, there was nobody. I mean, it's crazy. There was not a soul there, and he was watching and waiting and looking, and then likely made his move, because if there was anybody else, he wouldn't have killed him that day.
Right. No, I agree. And I mean, he came prepared, clearly. I mean, there's stuff in his pockets. And we know that now about the gun and all that. But one thought that you brought up a good point, that if he was just, happened to be there. I mean, if you're going to go, commit something heinous like this, you're going to want to go to some place that's desolate and that there's not going to be a lot of people around. And that's something that it didn't really come into my mind until like just now. But also at the same time, you're not going to get, I mean, obviously if you're just hunting, I mean, if there's less people there, then you have like less, less, a lesser chance of getting, a prime target for whatever you're about to do. So I don't know. I mean, it could go either way, but it's really just, I mean, he came there with, the tools and everything. I mean,
he was there to do whatever he's doing, but it could have been, it very easily could be, I'm like 50-50. Well, I'm actually more like, I don't know. It's hard for me to accept that there's this catfishing account and somehow there's not a connection to him being there that day. It's hard for me to do that, but he came there, and if he was just there hunting to kill, he would have had those items with him. But it really does feel like he was there for them. But it's hard to. You can easily argue either way.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. It's really hard because, like, where's the connection? I mean, if there is a connection, I don't know yeah, it's a small town, but like it doesn't sound like from interviews like they didn't really know him other than like the CVS, you know, like just your local like pharmacy tech. But beyond that, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I think again, small town, so like I'm sure a friend of a friend of a friend probably like knew him in some degree, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't see them knowing each other in person or ever coming into contact. But also, I mean, I can't get past the catfish count, and I'm not saying the Kleins have anything to do with it. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, the Dropbox might have been. I mean, maybe the Kleins weren't behind that, but the Dropbox account that they posted stuff on, maybe that led to him being aware that they were going to be there.
Exactly. So if there was something, I mean, if it was like a big shared thing, which it sounds like it was, and he just happened to be, I don't know how Dropbox really works, but like a member or like a subscriber or whatever, like connected to the Dropbox. I could see, I mean, that would be my guess if they were targeted and they were there at that time, or like he knew that they were going to be there. I think that has to be it. But I mean, also something else I thought about, like, I don't know. I mean, Abby and Libby's friends being like, so it sounds like their decision to go to the trails that day was last minute based on what Becky Patty said in some interview. Like, oh no, they just like perked up and, you know, were like, oh, hey, like, or sorry, to Kelsey, and was like, hey, like, can you drive us? And like, it wasn't a planned thing.
Right.
At least not.
But that always made me think that somebody maybe just communicated with them on Snapchat, said, hey, want to meet me there? And then they went, oh yeah, hey, quick, and tried to get a ride with Kelsey because they didn't get a ride with Derek, who just left a few minutes before that. But anyways.
Yeah, no, I think that definitely could have been what happened. And also if it wasn't, again, like, I mean, the bridge guy or somebody who communicated with them, it could have been one of their friends. Say that I know there was a friend who first introduced Libby to the Anthony Shots account, the catfish account. And so I'm wondering if, I don't know, this is obviously total speculation here, but if she was in communication with that friend or some other friend that was in communication with the catfish account and said like, oh yeah, we're going to the trails at this time, like come meet us. And then that person somehow told them, or it was like a group chat or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we've talked about many times. Just who knows if it was on the Dropbox and they were talking about, hey, you know, they put out there, hey, I got this girl, if you're going to be there. And then somebody else said, oh yeah, hey, Rich, you know, I think it's got to be analog where it's not digital, the communication with Richard Allen. If there is a connection, they can't prove it because it's all done like verbally to him. Somehow that he was told, hey, they're going to, but I mean, here's the thing is, because it was so spur of the moment, like you'd have to then find a connection to why they went there right then, and he somehow got to know it. You know, was it like 1:15 and he just quickly grabbed his crap and drove out there, you know? I mean, I don't know. It's that is kind of weird, you know, so.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know. I just think that, I mean, if there was some digital trail, I don't know that we would necessarily, like we as in the public would know about that at this time.
But I was told that they can find by one of like an official that said they can't find any connection between Richard Allen and Keegan Klein. Okay, so that's why I'm sort of like, so this
Richard Allen. Okay.
Yeah, they can't find a connection, but that doesn't mean there isn't one. That's why I say if there is one, it's probably not digital. It was more like somebody said, "Hey, one of the like maybe he saw pictures of a girl that he liked, and then somebody called over and or somehow told him later that's not connected to Keegan, some other person, and said, hey Richard, have you look at this one right here? They're going to be over at the bridge at about real soon, and he's like, oh shit, maybe it's his day off, and he gets all his crap together and goes out there. Or he was just there hunting, and Libby and Abby fell into his trap. You know, that almost seems more logical, because it's a lot of stuff that we have to infer happened without the FBI being able to uncover it. You know, we have to come up with all this stuff like, okay, yeah, it was on the Dropbox, he said this, and this. Where the other one is, he's just a psycho that was there that day. But maybe he found out a different way. You know, maybe he found out they're going to be there a different way, and we're just not aware of it at this point. Or maybe, hell, maybe he was catfishing them too with a different name or something. I mean, who the hell knows at this point? I don't know.
Yeah, or we're... gosh, I don't know. I'm not gonna go. I mean, there's a lot of rabbit holes I could go down right now.
Yeah, but I gotta. Do you have any? I gotta show some stuff on the screen. But do you got any more stuff? Hello.
Sorry, I think you a bit.
I was saying, do you have any more thoughts or?
No, I think that's about it. But yeah, thank you for taking my call.
Well, thanks for calling in. That was cool. Appreciate it.
All right, absolutely. All right, take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hey, you guys are like Amber Maiden tried to start a wave, and you guys are going back to the old school, like leaving her hanging. Man, you guys. Hope the state has more info on the whole thing. Yeah. So check this thing out. This is a picture. This is a picture that was taken that day. Most people probably haven't seen this one. I blurred out the face, but this is a person that was on the bridge after. I mean, Abby and Libby at this point in this picture are still on the ground where they were killed at this when this picture was taken. I mean, they're there for a long time. What I meant to say was Richard Allen is still there when this picture was taken. See, this is on. If you look back here, see that's the famous forked tree. So the other side of the bridge is over there, right there. Okay, and this right here, can you guys see that little spot? See how that goes out? That's platform 3 right here. So this picture is them coming back across the bridge, and I thought, we could take a look at the shadow situation again. And here we go. Let's. So this is a north-south oriented map here. Yeah, I think, can I just grab the human and move him? Yeah, so it's north-south oriented. This is going to be platform 3. So she's standing. It doesn't really matter, how I have him, So if you come around over here, I guess what we could do is take this camera, rotate it around. Oh, not like that. Local. Yeah, that didn't work either. Man, you guys left Amber hanging there. Whew. Well, thanks, Amber. Jesus. Sometimes it's so hard in here. It's just brutal. Yeah, so we could just probably take a look at that, even though they're flipped around and some error problems with it. All right. So this is the 3D Studio Max that has real time information in it, like time of day and everything. So let's do the time system. All right, I have it set currently Hey, thanks, John Wolf. All right. All right, so I have it set for, it's 2:13, and that's, so that would be exactly the time. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay. And it's for February 13th, 2017, -5 time zone. Okay, so that's exactly correct. So I think this is around 3 o'clock, and if I'm right, I think this starts shifting over to the left a little bit. So that would be 13. Let's say yeah, I guess it goes the other way. What side of the bridge is that on? Now I'm sort of wondering if that's the same. It's wild. So that would go the other way. No, wait, no, I went the wrong direction. It should be 1500. Sorry. Yeah, so I was right. There you go. Boom. Okay. See, I've made it 13. It should have been 1500. I'll make it exactly 3 o'clock. All right. Thanks, John Wolf and Georgina Stoluka. All right. Now check it out. We're going to look at this through this camera. And I got scan line render. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to watch. Well, this will give you the exact shadow. And look at, there's a pole over there that I was using, but we're just using this character here. Oh, did you? Well, make sure you, after you've had it for a couple days, get, what's the name of that drug? It's really good. It tastes like metal, but it does work well. Paxlovid. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. I just looked it up myself, so thanks, Plato. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to take it too early, though. You kind of want to be feeling sort of sick, then take Paxlovid, in my opinion. That's just my layman's opinion. I took it too soon, didn't have enough antibodies. Oh, and by the way, that wacko that was in here earlier, they wanted me to bring up the, referring to Betsy Blair. So Betsy Blair, she says that she saw somebody muddy and bloody and looked like they'd gotten into a fight. But she said another time, she didn't mention those things. That's what the defense team said. But obviously, at a later date, she did say muddy and bloody and looked like they got in a fight. All right, that's why it's in the document. All right, so it's so funny how the defense people, they don't ever mention. See, the probable cause document, you can't put in stuff like that. You couldn't put in that she said something that she never said, but you notice the defense team said that in her original statement she said this. She doesn't say, they don't say like, but she did say later that it was, you know. So they're just tricking the public, and, you know, a lot of naive people believe that kind of stuff. So anyways, look at that. So look at the shadow right there, how it goes straight across. Let's take a look at the picture now. This is a picture of somebody that was there. This is from February 13th at 3 something. So now look at the shadow. That's her left leg, and notice, I think, well, it's hard to tell because that leg's sticking out. But the bulk of the shadow is basically straight across from her body. You see that? It's not like it's back here. So if you follow this, she's standing on like this railroad tie, and then that goes up. She's, yeah, that makes sense. So this railroad tie right here is the one that her body is generally in the middle of, because this foot's about to pass it. That one's behind it. And then if you go straight across, the shadow goes up. So it's basically perpendicular to it. Yeah, that's not good, the Paxlovid, but you should get some of that, John Wolf. Yeah, just tell your doctor, hey, I'd like to get Paxlovid. You just call it in, tested positive. They just call over, you go get it, boom. But, you know, you want to be sick, in my opinion, for a couple, I mean, you know, I'm not saying, whatever they tell you to do, do it. But for me, I had the rebound because I had the way it happened with me when I had COVID was my wife had it, and I kept testing every day, testing, and she had already got Paxlovid. And the second I tested positive, I go, okay, let me take one of yours and I'll get So I took one of her doses of Paxlovid, and then I got my Paxlovid and then gave her back her dose so she could finish it because it's all the same. But I got mine so fast that I think my antibodies weren't built up enough to do anything. That makes sense? Now I told my dad, and he says, yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable. He's a doctor. All right, so look at that. Doesn't that look accurate then? I mean, look at that. Here, let me take this picture and put it in and make it perpendicular. Or, I don't know, that doesn't really work. I guess I could rotate it. Yeah, I could do that. Let me take this. No, I did it wrong. I took it too fast. You gotta let your antibodies build up, because all Paxlovid does is stop the replication of the virus. But if you don't have enough antibodies afterwards, there's nothing. You don't have enough antibodies to fight off anything that's left over, right? So, but if you let your antibodies build up, then take Paxlovid, it comes in and starts wiping out the existing virus. So I didn't do it right. You don't take it the second you get. No. As I just said, I said the theory. Hold on a second. That might be what they tell people, but I bet you anything that is the reality. Come on, Jesus, what the hell? Yeah, I'm just trying to make this so it looks more easy to understand. See, look at that. I think that's it, man. See? It's a little bit off to the right, but doesn't that look like about the right time then? Look at the shadow on hers. Goes straight across, up like that. Hers goes straight across and then up. I think it's right around the right time. And this is like 3. Let's see what it looks like if we make this one later. So what if we made that like 5:15? Because I think right after this she takes that other photograph. Yeah, this starting to make sense. So if we make it 3:15, what does that look like? Yeah, it's the same day, yeah. So it could be in the same ballpark here too. Yeah, so look at that one's a little different. So, you know, could easily be like 3 to 3:15, because that's when Cheyenne was there. I think Cheyenne took that photograph. Right? Remember, she took this photograph too, right? And so this is on her way out. See, there's the start of the bridge. This is platform 2 that she's standing on. So again, remember we did that one? Look at the shadow down there. We were able to figure that one out. I think that was like 3... What time did we get on that one? This might not be the one that has that block. Yeah, it does actually. So there you go. Yeah, so right there. Ah, crap, I got that going on again. Ah, shoot. That's brutal when you get that setting. I always forget the key controls. Right, so that one's mimicking this. See that? And can you see the shadow right here? How it kind of, it's starting to, it's off the side and going like that. It's not like straight off of it. So that would make that 3 o'clock if it was, but let's see what we got here. Hold on. The sun is, at 3:15 is not perpendicular. It's almost though to the bridge. And if it was perpendicular, then the shadow would go straight off of that. So if we take that and render this one, it's kind of dark on there, but you can see it right here. See how it comes off that direction? So we're in the correct ballpark here. I make that like 320. Yep. So how it comes off like that. And that's what the photograph shows in this one. See? Yeah, it could be even a little bit later than that, like 3:20, 3:30, that one. Yeah, see, 3 o'clock is absolutely perpendicular. See how that doesn't go there? So maybe it was like 3:10 at platform 3, and then maybe like at 3:20 or so they took the other photograph, because I don't know if you can see that, but look down here. The shadow isn't really pronounced, but it's right there. I mean, you can literally see it. It's almost exactly on the building, right? So if I get rid of that, and let's make the time now 3:30 and render it again. Now we come down there. Now look where the shadow is. See how it goes like that, away from the pylon there? Now look at this one. See how that's what it's doing down here? It's going away from the pylon. So anyways, yeah, so it's pretty interesting seeing that that other photograph was taken right around that time too, you know, like 3:10, 3:15, and then that one. And they're just hanging out together, you know, Cheyenne and some friends taking pictures. So they were there. I mean, think about that, you guys. Like, they were there at like 3:05, you know, or actually before. They got there at like 2:45, and they walked all the way across the bridge because she took a picture on the other side of the bridge. So that means Richard Allen was only at the crime scene for like 15 or 20 minutes before other people started showing up. And I wouldn't doubt if they actually heard, or he heard them. And so what I also did some research, and the let's see if I can find that. Hold on. Weather, Delphi, Indiana, February 13th, 2017. Yeah, Weather Underground. And we just picked 2017, February 13th. And I think, does it change if I, okay, February 13th, okay, view, there we go. Yeah, so the warmest part of the day was 254. When they were there, walking on the bridge, it was like 40 probably. Because look how cold it was, 23 at 8:54 in the morning. And then got up to 43 and made it to 44 at 5:54. Which is weird to me, because in the winter, that's dark outside. So it must have been like a warm front coming in. Which it was. But let's see if we can do the... what about wind? 154, 8-mile-an-hour wind. It actually had the direction. Oh, I think that's it right there. There it is. So this is the wind direction. So look at this. This is really cool. So see little arrows on there? They're pointing. And it says precipitation, but I'm pretty sure that those arrows, see, it even says that 8 miles from west to northwest. From west. That's at, okay. So let's go right at the time, like we have one at 154. That is from the west. Then at 254, it's dead south. So I wonder if in the middle of here, but anyways, look at it like this. So if it's dead west, that means the wind is blowing like this, straight across, just like that. Because this is set up to north-south orientation, east to west, you know, this shot that you're looking at right here. And so the wind would be going right at the crime scene. And then maybe even sometimes like this later, because eventually it starts going south, but right around that time it was going like this. So anybody on the bridge, their sound would be heard really easily at the crime scene. And then anybody at the crime scene could hear stuff going on the bridge, but they wouldn't hear anything because the wind was going in the opposite direction. See? Yeah, so even if Abby and Libby happen to be screaming down there, the people on the bridge would not hear anything with the wind on the trees and the wind blowing in the opposite direction of, I mean, who knew? I mean, it's so weird to me that wind affects sound, but it does, you know, but they wouldn't have heard anything. So a lot of stuff makes sense when you go through all this. But those people that were right there, that were on the bridge right after that, they didn't see Richard Allen. But Richard Allen was supposed to be there for another 30 minutes. Remember? Richard Allen, those pictures on that bridge were taken at like 3 and 3:10 and 3:15. Where was Richard Allen at this point? You know, he was walking around, right? When they got there, they didn't pass him either. Wow. Man, he's a magician. Anyways, you guys, I've lost the audience. I'm going to get the hell out of here. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. You can always tell when everybody's just, like, there isn't chat going on, you know. It's like they're just, who did? Not sure what that is. Yeah, but I've played golf before when it's windy and the wind's blowing away from you towards the person you're talking to. You can't hear a damn thing they say. But if it's blowing towards you, you can hear them whispering. I mean, it's just... Anyways, hopefully you guys find that some of the stuff interesting that we do on this channel. But for those of you who are still out there that are just here randomly showing up and you're listening to the Odinist wackos, and they think it's mean to call them wackos, but they are, you know? I mean, what else are you going to call them? What else are you going to call them? It's like believing in aliens, that aliens did it. I mean, I don't care if you believe in aliens, because I think there might be aliens, but I'm talking about, like, you know, it's just right there in front of your face. Yeah, thanks for the caller that called in, too. Appreciate it. But like I said before, Richard Allen answered all the questions that they had. Once they got his name, it answered everything. He was the driver that was parked at the abandoned CPS building. He is the person that the 3 girls saw. He's the person that Betsy Blair saw. He's the person that Sarah Carbaugh saw. But even if Sarah Carbaugh saw somebody else, I don't care, because Richard Allen was the guy at the end of the bridge and he got somewhere somehow. Okay? He also answered the question of whose bullet was left at the crime scene. It was his. It was ejected from his gun. Richard Allen also confessed to his wife and mother. Upon hearing of the news, his defense attorney said, "Wow, we need to make it seem like that was a false confession. Start drooling on your shirt, eating paper, etc., even though everything was great just prior to that. We'll keep building up on that, though. We'll keep trying to get you transferred and moved around because of the deplorable conditions. Hey, by the way, we're going to look into these Odinist wackos, and hey, look at that. 2 of your guards had that. Therefore, it's a massive conspiracy involving Odinists inside the Indiana State Police, the FBI, etc." Yeah. Man, unbelievable. And you get these people, they just think they're not, they know that they're not thinking critically. They just know it has a large audience of feverish fans that want to keep watching anti-government, pro-Richard Allen bullcrap. That's the truth. There's a lot more content you can create when you believe in a conspiracy. You can just come up with all kinds of different things over and over and over and over again. And that's what they're doing. Despite what they tell you, that's exactly what they're doing. It's the same thing in the Sebastian Rogers case. There's zero information, so you have to come up with somebody else, come up with the boogeyman, start blaming them, etc. And it never ends. Anyways, thank you guys. We almost got sort of, near half the support, but thanks for the people doing the support. Sybil Bergeron, Pretty Good 49, Stefan Mertz, Plato, then K-Me, and Julian Flores, Osiris Stewart, Carrie Moody, Paulette Leonard, Ozzy Trisha, Mustang 1965, Peter Irene Cipher, Mustang 1965 became a new member, Georgina Stoliker, Gifted One, She Sells Seashells, Lil Puppy Paws 99, Pancakes, Bridget Bauman, Amber Aiden, Ozzy Trisha, John Wolf, Georgina Stoliker, and John Wolf. Been here 12 months. Hope you feel better as well. Thanks, everybody. See you guys later. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector. Yeah, I'm coming back on later to do
Professor Gregor's gonna give another lecture.
Serial killer.
Collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector.
agenda. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper for
Herbomeister.
I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work.
I don't know who was the other person they charged. They charged in Lisk. I haven't talked about Lisk, but anyways, I'm doing the Herbomeister. I guess we could check out who. I remember that was supposed to be today or yesterday, where they charged him with the 5th homicide. I don't know what name of the person is, but anyways, I'm gonna need you guys' help on the next show. I don't know why it's just so hard though. Man, it's so hard. But I'm gonna try to come back on at like maybe like 9:30 or something my time, which would be 12:30 East Coast time, to go over the Herbomeister. But maybe we'll go over some of the other ones. All right, cool. All right, see you guys.